Alright, y'all, peace. Um, so in this video, I want to talk about the recent arrest of individual named Keefe D for the arrest of Tupac. And I remember hearing about Tupac. I was late. I came from school, and for some reason, I guess I was hanging out after school, and then came home watching. I didn't hear about it until maybe the 10 o'clock news, and then I don't know if I turned on the radio or it for some reason it's a blur to me. But I probably did not listen to the radio. I heard about it in the 10 o'clock news, and then I went to sleep. It was a Friday night that he got shot. So it was a week before he passed away. It felt like it was a Friday that he got shot. But I know he passed away on a Friday. And again, on that day, probably got mixed up. Maybe I did. I do remember when Tupac got shot and they were bringing it up on the radio. So I was listening to the radio. It was when he passed away that I wasn't listening to the radio, although I was hanging out after school, went home, and I didn't hear about it until the 10 o'clock news. And for some reason, I just don't remember that whole day that he passed away. I wasn't paying attention. The next day, since I already knew, I was like, oh shit, let me turn on the radio. And and they were on Hot 97 was playing most of his songs. They weren't playing all of it. They were just playing the songs that from albums that came out when Hot 97 became a hip hop station. They didn't play anything from his first album, which they should have, just out of respect. And no, I almost cried. Tupac was no gangster rapper. I felt a lot of the things he said because I was kind of going through some things at that time, and so I could relate to him. I never thought that they were gonna arrest anybody, either for the quad shooting or for the Las Vegas thing. I never thought of it at that time. For like a day, I felt maybe there was a connection between the quad shooting and the Las Vegas shooting. But then as time went on, started seeing the video, I just said, oh, it's just a retaliatory murder, not realizing again later on that there was a connection in a way. So now we know there was a connection. And it involves a whole bunch of people from out here in New York, in the music industry, kinda, sorta, and in that bad boy circle or around that bad boy circle, and there was a lot of tension and unfortunately a lot of violence around the music at that time. Just about a year to the day after Pac got shot in quad, Stretch gets killed. Stretch was Pac's right-hand man. He appeared in a lot of his songs. I actually remember when Stretch was murdered. I had turned on the news. I just finished my homework, and it was breaking news. And his car, they showed his car flipped over. That had flipped over and everything. And then I was like, wow. And then it was just a dark time between late '94 to the time to late '96. It was when Pac passed. It was just and I don't want to say completely dark, because there was a lot of great music, a lot of positive music that came out, and but it kind of got overshadowed by the drama. And Hot 97 was playing more of the drama. They wasn't really playing the good music. You know, like, they played the Fugees, but they wasn't playing Large Professor. They wasn't playing the R&B group that had Black Mary, Molasses, Ghost Town DJ. They didn't play that. They were playing they were playing good R&B here and there, but they was playing, when it come to hip hop, they wasn't really playing Large Professor. They wasn't really playing Akaneli Howawa. They did play Put In Your Mouth. I guess Hot 97 was trying to get street credibility, and it was playing all the thug shit, and CNN, LALA. That's what Hot 97 was playing. They wasn't interested in playing good music. But I think I stated that in another video. But and just to put it out there, Suge and Death Row, they was bullying people, sucker punching people, and within Death Row, they was going around. Suge Knight was going around harassing people. It's harassment. If nobody from the music industry, let's say from a certain record label, asked Suge to drop by the office, why is Suge dropping by the office? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. He wasn't doing nobody favors. Suge, I don't think really cared about the artist. He was a bully. We all know about Suge now. But I want to say, and that's a fact. And for a minute, I felt Reggie White Jr. was defending Suge for a lot of times, and he was. But Reggie White had to tell the truth recently about Suge, about the stupid things he says, like free TVD. But with that said, there was that circle of bad boy people and circle of Mobb Deep in Queensbridge but especially Bad Boy, they were going around getting people jumped, starting shit, extorting people. I don't want to people should know that it wasn't just Death Row that was bulldozing the game and Suge extorting people and all, which he was probably. Reggie White said that, not me. But I don't want people to think that it was just Death Row that was doing that. Out here in New York, I remember because I was hearing about the rumors, the gossips, the interviews, and back then, and them bad boy dudes and Mobb Deep's entourage, they was going around pulling guns on people. Fat Joe too. Somebody in my high school told me he saw Fat Joe take something out and go right to an office behind the bar. I mean, the New York dudes, especially that bad boy circle, and Mobb Deep falls into that bad boy circle too, because they was riding for Big and all that. They was, getting people shot, robbed, stealing people. That's a fact. That's a fact. And as people were getting killed, if you know anything about if you know about the Prodigy audiobook, and then this person got killed for his equipment. I've been holding off on doing the video on that, but rest in peace, the Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? But so there was a lot of that shit. Probably a lot more people in New York that were doing that than on the West Coast. Really, Suge and his people crew were the only ones that were bullying people. So Pac, was showing loyalty to everybody, not realizing that these dudes were extorting and have been extorting dudes. They tried to extort Slick Rick back in the day. Pac finally made the connection after he got shot. There is a video that got leaked, but it's an edited video. All you see is Pac kind of like joking around with him and then going like this, pushing them on the side. Then it edits out everything that happened in between, and then all you see Pac lying on the ground and somebody dragging Pac into the elevator. So Pac definitely got shot. and he was definitely out of it. You know, he was getting dragged. So put that to rest also. You know. Um, and one of the other dudes said that they got shot in the ribs. So it wasn't just one shot. They were firing a bunch of shots. So you know, Pac gets, eventually passes away in Las Vegas, and now this thing with Keefe D, and I didn't even know about the book until he did the Vlad interview, and I felt once he did the Vlad interview that he could be arrested. I didn't know nothing about the. I knew about the interview with Greg Kading. I didn't know about a proffer agreement. I'm just learning about that now. But I guess Keefe D thought he was still immune, maybe. I guess he wasn't. And I guess there's some closure, you know. I do feel maybe it's too little too late. But with his arrest, I feel a lot of truth and a lot of facts about the music industry is going to come out. It already came out, but now they could find out more things, and they can say, okay, where did Keefe D come from? And if once Keefe D once the trial starts, they're going to look into his past. They're going to say, oh, okay, Keefe D was kind of in the music industry, kind of working with this rapper from the West Coast, and Redman is in the video, and his nephew was in the video, and Keefe's in the video, and then from there on, they start looking to his relationship with Bad Boy Records, and my take on that is this: look, I don't know any of these dudes. I remember seeing Puffy in the R&B videos dancing, and hearing the remixes, and remember hearing his voice even back then, 92, 93, he was already doing remixes. I seen him for the first time in the Supercat remix video. To me, and I stand by this, I don't doubt that Puffy doesn't love music. I don't doubt his love for music, his love for black music, and his love for hip hop. I mean, you can't deny that. There was Puffy was close with Pac at one time, and I loved the music that was coming out of that whole Bad Boy circle in the very beginning before it became Bad Boy. I was feeling all that. Mary J. Blige, the Mary J. Blige remix, the Josie remix, the Supercat remix, all that. I was feeling all that, and so I don't doubt that, and I don't doubt that he supported his artists, but I don't doubt his ego either. And you see what happened with Craig Mack and why he left Bad Boy. He eventually came back to do a remix with G-Dub. But as far as the other things, I didn't know nothing about that. I understand why, and I probably would have done the same. As far as checking in LA with if I was in his shoes, because Suge was a bully out there on the West Coast especially. But to say that Bad Boy wasn't doing that here in New York, or that circle of individuals that set Pac up and Quad weren't doing that, I think y'all kind of being dishonest, and everybody's being dishonest. Nobody really wants to say it because of their relationships with that circle. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what it is. I think But I think now with this arrest, a lot of things are gonna come out, and so we already know about this other individual from that bad boy circle by the name of, this dude Eric Von Zip, whoever he was. I know he was some kind of promoter, but he was in the streets as well. He's passed on. If on trial, if they're interested in really looking into any connection with that bad boy circle in Las Vegas, the quad in Las Vegas thing, and getting, brother love in the mix. The only way they can do that is if they really dig into Eric Von Zip and dig into which hotel room he checked into that night, Las Vegas, and the people that he was with that were also from out here in New York that came with him that night, and then track the gun down where he got the gun, and that's the way you make that connection. I'm not trying to be an investigator or nothing like that. It's sad that Pac had to be killed, although I understand that Pac and them should never jump, those guys, but Pac wasn't looking at those guys as, I'm a mob and they're Crips, or his loyalty to Suge. That's not. If you listen to every Pac interview, then you should know. The people in the music industry should know. Even the people that were close to Pac don't know. Haven't brought up the Pac interview where Pac said that Puffy got gangbangers on his payroll. He was talking about those guys, those South Side. That's what he was talking about. So Pac knew that Puffy was paying Southside for protection. So when he saw that individual, Pac knew that was Southside, and that's the dude that's down with Bad Boy. He's down with those dudes that set me up in New York. They try to get me in jail, set me up with the chick. Now they're trying to take Death Row chains for money, and I'm down with Death Row now. So that's how Pac looked at it. It had nothing to do with loyalty to Suge. If only because Suge told him how Puffy was getting protected out there in L.A. Suge told him. That's how Pac knew. That's the only way Pac would know. But Pac knew because he said it in the interview. Pac knew that already. So that Las Vegas incident where you see Pac going at him, that dude, Pac is looking at it like, this motherfucker's down with Bad Boy. He's paying my enemies. That's how he's looking at it. Had nothing to do with Crips or Bloods. Had nothing to do with that. People who say that, they have an issue. They had probably past issues with Pac when Pac was alive. But that's not why Pac did what he did. So I think we have to be honest about that. So I think that's the only way that you can prove that circle of New York. Because I don't want to just put it on one person from New York. And I know I mentioned Puffy's name, but I don't want to put just one person. There was quite a few dudes from New York that decided that probably I feel they wanted Pac to go, and Zip wasn't by himself. He was with other people from New York. So if they look into Eric Von Zip, they're gonna have to question why Eric had a gun in the first place going to Las Vegas and why he gave it to Keefe D. So I have my reasons, but I'm not gonna say that because it's out of my lane. Even though this is just my opinion, this is my channel, it's my opinion video, and I seen everything happen when I was 18, 19, 20. I seen all that shit that everyone goes to movies and sees now, or goes to Netflix now. I've seen it with my own eyes on TV and on the radio. I think if Pac would never jump that dude, and then he would have bumped into Eric Von Zip, that would have been a whole nother situation. That's why I'm bringing up why did Eric Von Zip have a gun? Because even the West Coast dudes, Southside and the mob brothers, they didn't. Most gangs from the West Coast don't bring guns to Las Vegas. That's from what I've heard, and for what we see, that is true. Keith, for the most part, I'm pretty sure none of the Southside dudes had guns. I'm pretty sure the regular mob brothers didn't have guns. I don't know about the ones that were working for Suge. So, it's. I'm just saying, I'm bringing this up because it's been on my mind, and I don't want to do the video the way everyone's talking about it. I wanted to do it my way, from my perspective, because Pac wasn't getting. Once Pac joined Death Row, he wasn't getting love, and he wasn't getting played on the radio. But again, you have to remember, with the Battle of the Beats, a lot of dudes will call up. We don't know who these dudes are. A lot of them are probably from the same neighborhood that Jimmy Henchman is from, same neighborhood that Hasty Jack is from, same neighborhood that Puffy's from. And it was probably calling each other, saying, "Oh, call in, fuck that nigga. Make sure his song don't get played on the radio." But Pac didn't have any love out here. A lot of kids in my high school that were from Flatbush, which is where Jimmy Henchman is from, I believe. They wasn't feeling Pac, and it was when Pac passed. I remember one kid would pass me. He was like, "Fuck Tupac." I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, freedom of speech. This is one of them wannabe stakeable kids that used to go to my high school. So I cried, and it hurts to see people kind of rank on Pac. Even when Pac was accused of rape, people were calling him a rapist. At that time when I was in high school, I was getting picked on. I used to get picked on more in junior high school because my grades were slow, or I was real skinny and something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I felt how Pac felt. And he didn't inspire me to do music because I was already kind of writing before that. But yeah, he probably got me to be more honest in my lyrics, even though I stopped doing music now. But that. The only way you could bring Sean Combs in this whole thing is if they look into Eric Von Zip and the people that he was with. Who were they? I don't know if they throw away, maybe after a while, or maybe they keep it in the computer files, or people that came to visit Las Vegas at a certain year. I don't know how that works. That's the only way. That's the only way. And because other than that, if they just don't really look at everyone's Zip, then Sean Combs is clear. You know what I'm saying? That he's clear for now. He's clear. He ain't going to. Nothing's gonna happen. Especially since Suge was going around bullying people. But I want to say, just to be fair and just for people to know, that there were a lot of these New York dudes that were connected to Puffy and Mobb Deep. They was bullying people too. They was putting guns on people and other artists and getting artists jumped in studios and all kinds of crazy shit. So I want people to know it wasn't just Suge doing that. It was a lot of people out here in New York doing that too, extorting people, getting people robbed. Like I said, Slick Rick was the first one, and I was during the golden era of hip hop. He found out that they were trying to extort him, trying to rob him, maybe kill him, so he did what he did. Pac didn't catch on as quick, maybe, and that's why he got shot. But Pac wasn't getting any love after he joined Death Row, and it was a lot of hate. And the New York video, I definitely remember when Biggie called the radio station. I remember I was listening to Hot 97 on my boombox on the living room, and Biggie called and said, "Yeah, what we gonna do about it?" Next day, boom, it's in the news. You know what I'm saying? They shot up the trailer. Of course, there were within New York and within LA. There were beefs going on. We all know this already from, I guess, the beef DVDs. So, but yeah, I think Keefe D is the only one that, and whether or not uh, pleads innocent or guilty, I don't know. I don't think it matters at this point. He's gonna go to jail. I don't think, Brother Love is gonna go to jail. And again, when I was younger, I did not know that these things were going on behind the scenes. I just love the music, and I don't doubt that Puffy loved music. But then you gotta look at some of the company he keeps, his relationship with Jimmy Henchman, his relationship with Keefe D, some of the artists that he signed that, like G Dep and Black Rob, and. But I don't doubt he loved music. Puffy probably loves music more than Suge does. None of this had to happen. Suge was doing what he was doing. What happened to Pac and Quad happened to Pac. These Brooklyn dudes. I'm from Brooklyn. I know how they think. These Brooklyn dudes love robbing and exploiting people, and robbing people, just straight robbing people. And it didn't have to go down like that. We all know about Ayanna Jackson. We all know what she said about when Vlad asked her about, well, there were other people raped you, like Haitian Jack. What about him? How come you didn't press charges on him? And she was like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Like shit like that kind of makes you think. Things that make you go, like, CNC Music Factory, But it still should be about the music, but I think that era may have birthed the trap and the drill era, where niggas is just bugging at each other like crazy, and it didn't have to go down like that, and they didn't have to discipline Tupac. Why discipline Pac? So wait, because he cursed you out on the phone and you're spending all this money on him? Like, so what? Just fight him one-on-one. Why couldn't Jimmy Henchman fight Pac one-on-one? Like, what's the... instead of trying to do all that shit. Sending gunmen and setting them up. And it didn't have to go down like that. I just don't understand why dudes just can't fight one-on-one. Why they have to act like thugs or gangsters. Why not act like men? This is me, my older me's talking now, and just seeing this whole thing go full circle. I just never thought anybody would be arrested, and I think for Tupac's sister and his brother, well, I don't know about his brother, but his sister, I think there's closure there. His brother, Mopreem, shout out to Mopreem, he thinks that the crooked cops did it. I don't think so. I think this was Southside mixed in with them Harlem boys, I'm assuming that Eric Von Zip is from Harlem. He was hanging out with Harlem boys, unless he was hanging out with some dudes that, they went Quad Studios, we never know. Like, but that's not for me. I'm just saying this off. It's not my business, But at least there's closure for me and for everybody who was a fan of Tupac, and I understand Keefe D wasn't even the driver or the shooter. I have nothing against Keefe D, so I'm not gonna make fun of him and nothing like that. He's a grown man. He knows what he did or what he was involved in. And I think if Keefe D did say that if he went down, he was gonna bring other people with him. A lot of people are dead now, but this one is still around, and we all know what that is. And if indeed Keefe D is telling the truth, but Gene Deal even say he sold the check. Fine. So let's see what happens. But I do feel a little closure as a Tupac fan, because I almost cried when Pac passed away. I could relate to him. I feel his music. I understood hit him up. I understand why. And you know, because as a Brooklyn kid, I'm watching from afar what Pac is saying and going through, and then I'm seeing all these New York dudes just shooting people, robbing people. I mean, it was crazy. So in a way, I looked at Pac as the Robin Hood or the good guy in that situation. Not that I agree with everything he did. Not that I agree with him going up there with Yana and having group sex, all that crazy shit. Wouldn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they, running trains on chick. I hate saying that because I'm not ratchet. So, but I felt Pac was a good guy at that time, and I think Pac was talented, multi-talented. I think one of the greatest rappers of all time. And I do feel some closure. I feel like, okay, we got at least one guy that's still alive. He wasn't a shooter, but he kind of helped move the instigation along. The instigation was instigated by, this guy Zip. So I do feel a little closure, But and Biggie was killed after that. So there's never gonna be closure completely, and I would like to know, how Puffy felt about Pac at that time. But if you listen to Long Kiss Goodnight, that's how Puffy felt. Listen, people listen to Long Kiss Goodnight and they say, "Oh, Biggie's dope." Even Who Shot You was for somebody. It wasn't for Pac, but I felt it was for somebody because there was a lot of New York rappers that wasn't getting along with Biggie. So that song was for somebody. Long Kiss Goodnight was for Pac. Listen to the lyrics and listen to what Puffy's saying in the background. That's how Puffy felt about Pac. For real. Well, he's brother love now. So, and again, I don't doubt Puffy loves music. I don't doubt that he had love for the hip hop culture. I don't doubt that. But anyway, there's nothing more I can say about that. I think I said what I said. Peace. And rest in peace of Pac and Biggie and Jam Master Jay. I haven't mentioned Jam Master Jay. I mean, that goes with the whole Queen circle as well. As I was saying, there was a lot of extortion going on out here in New York. A lot of DJs, rappers were getting extorted. And maybe Jam Master Jay was getting extorted too. And that's how bad it was out here in New York in that era between late '94 and maybe past '96 too, because you had a lot of thugs off the street, a lot of stick-up dudes that were getting into the rap game at that time, and that's why the Pac situation happened, and then all these other situations happened, the Queensbridge Wars, all that. So yeah, and that's the other thing I wanted to say again. Therefore, weren't the only ones that were bullying people or extorting people. It was a lot of that going on out here in New York, like crazy. It was, and much respect to Reggie Wright Jr. I'm not gonna attack him either. Like, I just disagree with him defending Shug before, but he's being honest and he knows the business of Death Row. I watch his videos, so, and that's all I gotta say. Peace.